Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So, I ran across this video. I was watching another video. Shout out to Reva TV. I was watching her video, and she reacted to yet another older Black woman, and this one, she in her 30s. Okay, they call her Sprinkle Sprinkle. This Shira. Shira 7 been on this type of time for a minute on YouTube, and now she on TikTok with it. And she always got a halfway something she's saying. I find that to be the worst kind of misleading and misguidance is when you can skew something just enough that if you think about it a certain way, it could make sense. But the reality is, how people gonna take what you said. How the majority of your audience is actually gonna receive what you said, and it's that intent with which you say what you say. So I want to review this little short clip. It's just shy of 30 seconds. I'm going to let it run twice, and then we're going to come back and we're going to have a conversation about that. So without further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen, and let's take a listen.
The only true love that truly exists is love between parent and child. The type of love most women are looking for, they will never find it in a man. Okay? A man's job is to provide and protect. If you're looking for nurturing, hugging, and affection and all that stuff, men are not like that. Okay? So please stop looking for something that does not exist in them. Get their money. Love yourself. If you happen to marry and have kids, the most love you're ever going to get is going to come from a child, not a man. Okay? The only true love that truly exists is love between parent and child. The type of love most women are looking for, they will never find it in a man. Okay? A man's job is to provide and protect. If you're looking for nurturing, hugging, and affection and all that stuff, men are not like that. Okay? So please stop looking for something that does not exist in them. Get their money. Love yourself. If you happen to marry and have kids, the most love you're ever going to get is going to come from a child, not a man. Okay? The only true love that
I want to stop sharing that. And I let it run twice so you can hear the foolishness of that. And it's just a reiteration of what Black women already think. That this is why Black women don't think. What she stated was the underlying idea of why Black women do not regard their husbands and even their sons as their family. Right? What she forgot to say was that Black women really only love their girl children. They do not love their male children. And there's actually a video that I wanted to talk about at another point in time that actually proves that point. But I call cap on the whole situation about the only love you're going to get is from a child. The child's love to the mother is unconditional, not the other way around, because the level of abuse that happens in Black women's homes towards their children, the level of neglect that happens in Black women's homes towards their children, sometimes the level of homicide that happens in Black women's homes to their children that they direct to their own biological children, it belies that what she just said, that cuts that at the neck. It's completely not true. There are only a handful, a small percentage of Black mothers who are actually mothering their children, who actually have a love for their children as the pure love of a parent to a child would have. The rest of y'all had babies for checks. The rest of y'all had babies to keep this dude. The rest of y'all had babies to spite this dude. The rest of y'all had babies because y'all was competing with the other baby mamas that he had. The rest of y'all had babies for all these other reasons beyond having babies for the sake of being a part of a functional, healthy nuclear family and being a mother. Y'all and I have stop the cap. Stop acting like y'all are having babies and in family settings because you want to be mothers. It's a whole gang of y'all that have babies for all kind of reasons that don't have nothing to do with parenting, nothing to do with love, nothing to do with wanting children, nothing to do with family rearing and family building, none of that. So once again, the child's love to the parent is pure and unconditional. Not necessarily the other way around. Then she said something else that was wrong. If you're looking for love and affection from men, it's not in them. But it's not men that won't get up at 3 a.m. to fix a sandwich if you really needed them to do that. It's not men. It's not women that put their life on the line for men. When was the last time you heard of women sacrificing their actual life for any man in their family, including their children, including their male children? When the last time you seen a mother, a black mother, risk it all for her children? When the last time you seen a black woman truly take up for a black man, and it may have meant that she may receive some backlash or she might have a negative consequence for having done it? Who's always filing for divorces and breaking the families up? Who's always doing that? It's not the men. And that's not to say men never do nothing wrong. The love between, see, the misguidance is that the love between parents and children is just different from the love that is between a romantic couple. She's projecting. Hyenas are transactional, so therefore there is no love involved. And then she proved it by talking about the transaction. Get their money, love yourself. See, this all goes into the bad sexual market value that so many black women actually have. At the top, if you recall this chart, you see loving. This is what lionesses do. The sexual component, the romantic component of a relationship involves spiritual, loving, purposeful, and satisfying objectives. When you are a hyena, the only thing that you are truly worried about is the transaction. And that though going down that road may lead into humiliating or even criminal types of activity. Okay? And she just proved it by what in that small clip. Get their money, love yourself. But y'all don't even know what loving yourself is. And she's projecting again. That is the love that hyenas have. They don't come past the transaction. See, and I explained how women's love work. It worked differently than men's love because men live externally and they are by nature selfless. Their love is external. And what I mean by that is it don't have to grow necessarily. Once men love you, they love you. And they demonstrate that love through having respect for you and things of that nature. But they also demonstrate that love not only through affection, but the other 3 P's as well as procreation. They demonstrate it by provision and not just money. We've gone over this before. They demonstrate it by solving all your problems. They're the one that you call when you have issues that you can't resolve or you need help with, they're the ones that are protecting even into their life and working to create a structure for their family that actually helps to protect them. And then we got the procreation, which is physical intimacy, anywhere from affectionate touches, words, down to actual sexual intercourse. One might argue that men love women more than women love men. And one would be hard pressed to go against that argument. This is why I explain how women's love is we live our life internally. So the first thing that we love about a man is what he does for us, how we benefit from him. That's the first level of love. And it is transactional. Hyenas never move from that spot. The difference between a hyena and a lioness is we move from that spot and we go not down the list into humiliating and criminal, but we go up. Once we love you for what you do, which is technically a transaction, we go into the emotional connection, the spiritual part of it, then the loving part of it, then the purpose part of it, then satisfaction. We go up the scale. So we go from loving what a man do for us to loving him. See, we start loving him beyond the benefit that we receive from him. So love builds for women. It has to, because we don't live our lives psychologically, emotionally. We live that internally. Everything is from our perspective. Everything is, we have to relate to things and things like that because we don't live. Our perception of the world is not from an external point of view. It is from an internal point of view. That's why the structure of love is actually different between men and women. This is the stuff that you're not going to hear on Shira. Shira's not going to talk about that. And women like her, they're not going to talk about that because they have a very specific thing that they want to convey to their mostly female, mostly young Black female audience. And that helps Black women to destroy younger Black women, to give them, to infect them with the mindset of a hyena, the feminist mindset, the toxic feminine mindset, the ultimate selfish mindset, the narcissistic mindset. So these women, the young women who listen to her, are going to take that as men don't love you. They're not even gonna hear the actual words she said. They're gonna take from that because we're women and we hear stuff with our woman ears. So we hear things emotionally, not always necessarily the actual verbatim words that were said to us. We hear the energy of a word. We hear the energy of what has been said. And that's what we take on. So the energy of what was said is men don't love you, but your kids love you. So therefore, you should invest all of your energy and emotion in your kid and none in your man. Just take him for a ride. Right? I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention and sort of underscore that selfishness that we were talking about. Okay. Before we sign off, something very important. Don't go away. I received an email a few days ago that was requesting that one of my listeners by the name of Mel, who is a young Black single mother, actually, is in some need because she is battling long COVID. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put the link to the GoFundMe if you want to participate and send a bit of donation. This is that selflessness that we're actually talking about. I'm going to share my screen so that you see what I am talking about. Okay. Okay. This is her. In the email, I actually was emailed by a friend of hers who was telling me that it was this young lady who hipped her to my channel, and they watch my channel and have been watching my channel for a long time. And what's going on with her is she is suffering from long COVID, what they call long COVID. She was diagnosed with COVID during the pandemic and still struggles with all of the side effects and being sick and all of what went on. She's still sick from it. You know, that COVID was a monster. That C-19 was a monster. But this is the website. I'm going to link it in the description box. So anyone that would like to offer a donation of any amount, please feel free if you feel it in your heart to do so. Like I said, I'm going to share the link, and it's up to you guys if you want to provide a donation. You can read the long bio here and, you know, make your decision about what you wanted to do. However, I wanted to bring that to my subscribers' attention. If you want to offer some help, please do. All right. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But I want you guys to jump down into the description box and into the comment section and tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.